My name is Ejiro. Welcome to another chapter of this tutorial series. What I'll be showing you today is how to design a simple template for your website. It's always a problem for beginners designing templates for their own websites. They often go for pre-built templates which they download and reconfigure. But it's not really okay for me. I believe in doing it yourself. So in this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to design a very simple template which you can customize to your taste using your CSS. But at this level, I'll leave it for the beginners level, which I'm just going to design it, giving it a good layout for those who are learning to at least pick up from. So in this tutorial series, I will use the opportunity to also show beginners how to define a site in dreamweaver CS4, CS5, CS6, because the process is the same across these 5 applications. So it's a bit different for CS3 and dreamweaver 8, but in CS4, CS5, CS6, it's pretty much the same. So first and foremost, I want to define a site right now for our work. So the first thing I'll do is to come up here and go to new site. Dialog box which is going to appear here. You name the site anything you want. I'll just call this one template. Then after which, this one, what I'll do is just, instead of this unnamed site, what I'll do, I'll locate the file itself. So the best thing to do is to go to the folder where the file is located. Go to look for my root file. This is my root folder where I have a template file here. Select that one and then move on to the next. Right now, this is where you declare the server. Either it's going to be a testing server or a remote server. So what you do right now, first and foremost, is to click on this plus sign here, and the dialog box is going to come up. Right now, you name the server whatever you want to name it. So I'll just go with naming mine template. Right here, you choose your connection process. We're going to be using a local testing server, so use local network. Right here, you select the folder itself, which is already automatically selected. Then here, what will be your web URL for this testing server to be localhost / template. That should be just it. Then you move to the advanced. Under the advanced, the only thing you really need to do here is to select your server mode, which is going to be PHP MySQL. After which, you just save. Then uncheck remote testing and go to what? Just testing server. After which, you click save, and that is just it. If you notice here right now, the site has been declared and it's called template. You have just one folder inside called what? Image, and there are some image files already inside which you're going to be using in the course of this tutorial. So let's just move on. First and foremost, right now, what I want to do is to what? Open a new file here and call it what? Index. Sorry about this pop-up that always comes up. Call it, let's just call it template instead of index. Template.php. It can be .html, whichever way you want it, but right now I'm going with PHP. So that should be it. Open up. Then the next thing right now, looking at the screen, I want to explain some certain things to you here. This is just the doc type which you have here. Once you have to understand, here is the session. Starting from the head, this is the opening head tag, this is the closing head tag, and this is the opening body tag and the closing body tag. This is the closing HTML tag, which is started right from here. So this is the opening HTML tag and this is the closing, and under the head tag you have your title and the rest. So let's title this one site template. Okay, if you go to design view right now, the title has changed to site template, but under design view right now there is really nothing happening. Nothing at all is happening. So first and foremost, what do? Let's go to design view. One thing you have to know when creating a template like this, everything that you want your user to see has to reside between this body tag. So let's open up the body tag a little. First and foremost, I'll create some div tags which are going to be used as a controller to build a template. First and foremost, I'll open a div tag, give it an ID of header, then close. Sorry about this pop-up, always coming up. Then first and foremost, let's do something before this header tag. I want everything to reside in the container. So I will first and foremost open up that div tag for the container ID. I'll call it container. Close it. Underneath here, I'll close. So right now, if you notice what I just did, I've opened up this container div, but I closed it down here. So this header is residing right inside the container div. That is exactly what we want to do here, and we have achieved that. So let's open up more div tags. Call this one, give it an ID of navigation. We'll just simply call it nav. So close it up. So what we'll do right now is to add more div. So open up more, div tags, ID, call this one content, close it up, and open one more. So call this one div, give it an ID of footer, close this one up. Good. Let's go to design view and see what is happening there. Good. Right now in design view, you see this line here. This is the container div. If you click on it, you see the div called container, and that's where every other div is residing. So right now nothing is happening yet, but we have all the divs in this aspect of it. So what do? We need to start building these div tags. This is just like an house plan, but for the house to come to life, you have to put things in place, like bringing the foundation first and foremost, laying blocks and all that. Right now we've drawn the plan. Let's start with the digging of the foundation, and the foundation itself has to do with this container. So before we do that, we will need to use CSS to style these div tags up. So let's open one more file here and call this one style. .css. This one will no longer have a PHP extension, CSS. Let's open it up. So right now we're in our CSS environment. Though some of you who are beginners who will be watching this video, you might be new to this environment, but what CSS does, like the name stands for, Cascaded Style Sheet, is just there to hold and arrange our work. It's a placeholder. So first and foremost, right now, let's give our background a color first and foremost, so that we can see exactly the section we are working on. So I'll give it a body. This is an open brace. I'll give it a background color. Let me go with this. Take that color, semicolon, then close. Save it. Then go back to template. Now under this head tag, I'll drag my CSS file. I will include it so that whatever we're going to be doing there can be affecting what we are doing here. So if I go to the background, for instance, wow, this is it. Now you see the background has changed. What we just did right now in the CSS. So now what do? Let's go straight to business. So what we do right now is physically to make sure at least we get the background. And when I mean the background here, I'm talking about the individual divs, how to get them to fit the way we want them, because what we are trying to design here is a template. So right now let's target the first thing, which is the container. So I'll use the pound sign and call it container. Open up the brace and give it a width. Since I already know the width of my images, I'll be working with that. So I'll give this one a width of 1000 pixels. Mind you, this semicolon means that line of code has ended. So I'll give it So I've already done that. I want the height to increment, but right now I don't just want the height to increment, so I'll give it an height of, let's say, 250, let's say 300 TX. Then let's save that. We'll come back to that, but before that, let's save and see what is happening. Good. This is the container div. It has extended, but right now we seems not to really see it because the background is still interfering. So let's just go back to the CSS and do a little styling to it. I'll add the background color, give it a white, add that, save, come back to template. Here you go. So if I save this and preview in our browser, just hold on, let that preview. While that is taking place, let's go back. Okay, it's previewing right now. The system is a bit slow right now, but just bear with me. So this is it. If you look carefully, this is the template we are working on. And moreover, I'm noticing something here. The template is sitting to the left. What happens to the space here? It's not a good practice. The template should always sit at the middle. So let's go back and work on that. Under our CSS here. Now what do? I said we have to work on that, so let's give it a margin. Margin left auto, margin right auto. Why do I have to do that? Margin left auto, margin right auto. The reason is because I want this template to sit at the middle. So it's going to auto align from the left and auto align from the right. So if we save this and go back to preview, you're seeing that right now. It's sitting right at the middle. So I don't like the way the template is sitting very close to this top of this browser. So I want it to come down a little. So I will put a margin top of 18px. So let's refresh. Thank God, that's pushed down a little. That is exactly what we want in this case. So the next step right now is to start targeting the individual divs inside the template. So let's assume we are done with this one. The next thing right now is to target the header. So I put the pound sign as usual and call the header. Open. So, and in targeting the header, all we need to do right now is to open up our brace. Now, the header, we don't really need a width because it's going to sit right in the container. But we need, let's just say we need a width. Let's call the width, let's say it's 1000 px, height. Now, in doing this height, we have to consider something. Let's say 300 height here, 300 px. We'll come back to that in a jiffy. But what we need to do next is give the header a background color, so we know our progress as we walk along. I'll give it a red. I wish I'll close that up. Next thing is to target navigation. So pound sign, we call it nav, if you can remember. Target that. Come down. Let's just give it an height. Forget about the width. On a height of, let's say 40. So 50 px. Then background color, of white, then save. Next thing is to target the content. So put the pound sign as usual, or the hash sign, rather call it content. Background color, call this purple. Then what we need to do next, let's just save that at this level. Then let's target the footer. Background color, then let's give it this light green, give it an height of 40 px. For the content, let's give it an height of 400 px. Now save and go to design view. This is exactly what we have been working on so far. So let's preview in browser. Yeah, this is our navigation. This is our navigation. This is our header. This is the content, and this is where our footer ought to stay. So right now, let's just go there. You can go to our code view, and that source code for the header. You can just say header here. For the nav, say nav here. For the content, say content here. Footer here. And save that. Command X or Control X, whichever way. Save. And let's go back to our browser and refresh. You see, header here, nav here, content here, footer here. So right now I want to add a little beauty to it, something you can do without populating everywhere with codes. You can just thoroughly do your CSS, and most of the things will just be hidden, and it's more mature that way. So let's go back to Dreamweaver. Under here, where we have our images, we have the footer image, we have an header image, but I want us to see something before we do that. Let's go to desktop and go to our site root, that's www folder. We have template, and these are the two files we have, style and template. These are the images. So right now the header image is 1000 by 100. The footer It's 1000 by 37. So let's go back and do a little adjustment like that. So this is 1000 by 100, 1000 by 37. So let's go back to Dreamweaver. That is CSS. On the header, add one more background image. This time no longer background color. I add the background image and browse here. I look for the header, select it. Then for the footer, we'll do same. Background image, browse, footer, say yes. Now let's go back to our browser and refresh. Whoa! Now you have the footer image and now the header image. But right now our header image is repeating itself thrice. The reason is because the header image is smaller than header content. So let's go back to our CSS and make this one 100 because that's the exact size of our image. Save and refresh. Here we go. The header image is already there, clearly stating a Google Web Development Service. And now you have your navigation and your content. From here you can start building in content and the rest. So this is how to design a very simple template in Dreamweaver. And as this tutorial improves, I'll teach you how to design a CSS menu, which will be residing right here. That will come in another chapter of this tutorial series. But for now, thanks for watching, and if this video helps, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Go to my website, which is www.owct.com. So right now, this is how it goes for the template. So I believe this has helped you in one way or the other. Always try to visit my website at www.owct.com. There you will have more videos to follow up on this. So see you in subsequent tutorial series. Thank you.